up, kings and queens? Welcome to the Venus Exchange podcast. It's your girl, Tasia.
Nova in your aura.
Leslie, good girl, Les.
And today we're talking developing and protecting your energy. So we are going to take you through a whole journey on our way to Venus today. So we're going to start with raising our vibrations, dealing with energy vampires, having a positive mindset, showing gratitude, and last but certainly not least, manifesting. So let's just jump right into the conversation. How can we even recognize that we need to raise our vibrations to even start this process? Did one of y'all want to?
What is raising?
What is
raising your vibration?
Signals that you need to start raising your vibration.
So when you talk about vibrations, do you mean like your surroundings, Can you elaborate?
Yeah. So I would say when I think of that personally, it's like all of that. I would say raising your own internal vibrations, like getting your own energy together, and then also that of your environment, because as we all know, our environment has a big influence on us.
And sometimes you set the tone for your environment. Like when you walk into a room, the energy should shift.
Yes.
And it should be
because your vibration is so high. Yes.
So like some people. Yeah, have you ever worked with someone and they're like, oh, I was having a bad day, but then you came in, or when I saw I was working with you, I knew it was about to be lit.
Yes, like that. Bring that aura with you.
Yeah, so that's like always the goal for me, is to just.
So did you have something to say on like how you could recognize that you even need to raise your vibration?
Well, I know for me personally, it's when I'm like super tired all the time, when I get bumps, when I get acne on my face, because I consider myself to have, clear skin.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, we do too. We agree.
And then, when I get acne, when I'm tired, and when I just feel super, lethargic, I just know it's time to cut back. So, like, literally, this morning I woke up and I scheduled a colonic tomorrow because I knew, I'm like, you know what? I've been putting too much into my body. I've been consuming entirely too many things that are bad for me, and it's time to just flush it all out.
And really quickly, for those who don't know, what is a colonic?
Well, this is my first one, so I don't know if I'm even going to be describing it right.
Okay.
I'm going to let you
can back it up if you want to.
You got to come in.
If you need me, I'm there, but I'm going to let you take this.
So I'm basically going to go get my intestines and my colon flushed out, right? Hydro flushed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so it just cleans out everything that's been kind of
sitting
in there.
Paint the picture.
Yes.
Okay. Imagine this. You're laying on a plastic hospital bed, naked from the waist down.
Okay.
You're going to ease down on a little tube about this long. It's going to go in your butt.
Only this long?
It's maybe like this long. It's little. It's like 2 inches in your butt.
Okay.
And then they have this warm filtered water that turns on, and it's like a gentle power washing of your lower intestine, so the colon. So it's gonna go up in there, and you basically, it's the weirdest thing because you feel your belly filling up with water. So it's like that pressure. Oh, smoke it back there, take it. It's like that pressure, and then you just push it out, and it feels like you're gonna be pooping all over yourself. It's really just water, and that's how it flushes it out. So the more that's in your colon, as that water's going up, like maybe it's only going this far and then it's flushing out, and now it can go up this far and then you flush it out, and then it can go up this far. So you'll get to a point where you're like really filling up, like you can sit there like forever before you feel the need to push, and you will feel the urge. So when you feel, and it's so it's such an awesome example of mind and body connection because it's the weirdest sensation, especially if you don't usually have stuff in your butt. But it's like, whoa, what's going on here? But you just know when to do it, and when you get up, you literally feel like a freaking feather. Mm-hmm. Like it is.
Oh, that's exciting!
You feel so light. It's like uncanny how light you feel, and that's how you just know. And then they have this tube
that they show you.
You can see it because it's like a toilet bed. So it's going down, and you can see it like going down into the sewer. Your grapes, your corn.
So will I be all flushed out with one session, or do I have to keep on going back?
Well, I did one so it depends on your diet.
Okay.
And like how often you clean your colon, like with detox teas or pills or things like that. So it just depends on what's up in there.
Okay, so
it's very interesting.
Les raises her or she knows that she needs to raise her vibration when she's tired, her skin is breaking out. And she is solving this one because she knew she hasn't been eating well by getting a colonic. Mm-hmm. So how do you know that you need to raise your vibration?
So I'm usually, this ain't to sound funny, but I'm usually always in like a good mood. So if I get short tempered or like bothered, then I know that there's some shadow work going on or something that's popping up in my subconscious that I'm not addressing, or when I'm constantly being received wrong. Like if I'm just getting into spats or disagreement, or like people want to like argue with me or beef with me because of like, no joke, I really like don't beef and don't argue. I don't do none of that. So like when it comes up and I'm like, and I'm really defensive. So that's a part of me just, it's a healing journey for me to not snap on people who snap on me. And to just understand that everything isn't about me.
Yes.
So when I get energy that I'm not putting out, I'm always like, okay, what's going on? Okay, I need to sage. Okay, I need to bathe. Because there's something
it's
on
your
me.
own accountability of self.
Yeah, I'm like, there's something. I was like, regardless if I felt like I did anything or nothing, it could be something stuck on my aura that this person's sensing, and that's why they're reacting to me or seeing me like that. So when I'm getting bad energy, that's when I know I need to work on me. So that's a good way. And then like for those things, y'all know I do like juice fast at least 2 or 3 days a month. So I'll abstain from eating. I'll just drink waters, juice, and teas because it clears my mind. And it honestly, when you're not constantly looking for something to eat, you have so much more time to mentally sort through everything that is life.
And give your body even just a break.
Yes. Yeah. So that I feel like your body works better when your digestive system is at rest. And so it clears my mind a lot.
That's that mind-gut correlation. So yep.
So I fast. I'm also a sageaholic. Like, you gonna smell something burning if you come around me, because I'm always I either got the wood going, I got some sage going, I got bay leaves burning. I'm always burning something. That's the sage. That's the fire. I'm just a pyro. But saging and taking spiritual baths to just cleanse myself. I have
never taken a spiritual bath, but I've always wanted to like obviously I've taken baths before, like soaked in water and done that whole thing, but I've never really said it with the intentions of like, this is, you know, like this is a real spiritual bath. I'm gonna deck out the water, I've never done it like that. So I might do that. But for me, I agree with you in saying that I'm pretty much always in a good mood. And if I do recognize that like something is off, I try to look internally. But before I became like the happy-go-lucky person that I am, I was about all that action. I was like probably way overly aggressive, and it went back to my environment that I was in. So like the start of my journey and just really realizing like I needed to work on myself, it was affirmations for me. Affirmations were like so big for me. I'm talking about, I still do it to this day, just like have stuff posted on my walls, on my mirrors, in my car, like reminders on my phone. So that like really helped me get to a point where I'm like, okay, I can see above all the bullshit, honestly. And then we all know that like after you do the self-work, you still have those things that are like testing you, you know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, it's like the universe is like, okay, I see you working, but how hard are you really working? Like, what did you really take in? So how do y'all deal with people or things that do get you out or I wouldn't say get you out your hookup, but at least try to?
Well, this morning at work, I just stopped talking.
Yeah?
I just completely shut down, and that's how I resolved that issue. I didn't have the energy to exchange or converse with you because I felt like it was going to be negative, and I just shut it all down.
So it's like no point in putting your energy into it.
I follow someone on Instagram that said that when people are, for lack of better terms, barking, if they're not asking you a direct question, then you have no obligation to answer them.
What am I responding to?
Yeah, so like if a person's like trolling you or nagging or this, if they're not asking you anything, you don't have to respond to them. Now, if they ask you a question, you have the option to answer.
I was gonna say, because even if you are asking me something, I don't know if I'm gonna respond.
I was gonna say you don't have to, but that was a big indicator for me to learn how not to respond to everything, because the person cannot literally be asking for a response. They're just talking. You know what I mean? So like. And because I'm a talker naturally, like I don't always speak just to be combative or just to be rebuked. It's like if we're talking, I'm thinking we're talking, but that's a part of knowing yourself and knowing where conversations can take you. And that's a way to protect your energy by not responding to certain type of things. Because especially if you know a person's not on your level, and you know that if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and then they'll have you down the tornado of toilet water. And it's like, you just want to just not even do that. So I'm saying you gotta be able to counter that energy with something that's literally gonna blow their mind and make them shut up.
And that's why
that's it. I can just sometimes be like withdrawing completely.
When I'm quiet, everyone is concerned. Everyone. Absolutely. They're like, what is wrong with you? You're not talking. You're mad. Something's wrong. And sometimes it's like, this just is not my vibe. So I ain't about to say nothing. And then that eerie's them out so much that they're like, okay, maybe we should shut up. We're probably making her mad, or we're probably making her uncomfortable because she's not, you know what I mean? And sometimes that's all you have to do is stop. And I love having that power.
I feel like I'm kind of in between both of y'all. Like, literally, because, like, I'll have moments where I, like, I'm just, like, done with this. But I really do try to be fair because I know, like, the growth that I've done personally. So I always try to leave, like, if someone rubs me the wrong way, or if I feel like they were disrespectful, or they're just doing something that I personally cannot tolerate. Like, I just can't tolerate it. I at least try to tell them. Like, hey, and I'm not telling you because I want to go back and forth with you. I'm going to tell you what you did, and I'm probably going to block you. But at least you know, like, where you can grow at. And if you decide to use that information, good for you. I hope you do. But if not, that's not my problem.
Girl, I want you to do one thing in life. Go and get Reiki attuned. Girl, when you learn how to manipulate energy, you will learn that you do not have to have that last word.
No, I don't want that. It's not having the last word.
But it's like, you don't even got to tell them, like, you don't gotta give them no love note goodbye. Like, you don't even gotta tell them nothing.
Never like it was so pleasant knowing you. It's never like that. It's like, you are disrespectful. I might even you are disrespectful. Like, this is where you have me fucked up. And I hope you learn from this, but I'm not going to be the teacher. So,
okay.
Have a good day.
Okay,
it's not like
no, I got you.
I need closure. Nah, I don't need that. I
gotta get this. But even so, you learn how to do that. I just made a post about it the other day. Like, the best thing I can do, like, what I love about my journey is that when you do something, I literally don't have to do nothing but remove myself for you to feel it. I don't gotta say nothing. I don't gotta tell nobody. I don't gotta gossip about you. I don't gotta post about you. All I gotta do is remove my energy, because I'm always working for positivity, for peace, for understanding. So by me not responding to your negativity and me focusing on that, it'll catch you whenever it's supposed to catch you.
I feel that.
And that's like revolutionary for a petty motherfucker like me, because I will troll and do, like, I tell people, I used to joke, like, I could be a bitch for sport with no emotion behind it, with I can literally just look at you, know it's gonna fuck with you, and fuck with you just for fun because I'm bored or because I got time today. And it's like, knowing your power and choosing not to do it is like so good.
I don't know. I'm still standing by I want them to grow. So I just be like, I'm going to try to leave you with this little, tip on how you can help yourself in life. But I hope, you make it.
And see, unfortunately, I've never, ever been the one to, I'm going to just leave without notice. I'm going to just, when the fun is gone, I'm up. It's over. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that is because, now I'm starting to feel like that's because maybe my throat chakra is blocked. Like, maybe I didn't learn the communication skills that I should have when I was younger, or I don't know, but I'm feeling like maybe that's not a good thing that I'll just leave, so rash like that. Maybe I do need to express myself before I just close that door, because I'm harboring all that thought and emotion in myself,
And it's no, like, release. Okay. Yeah. I can see that. I understand.
Now I'm like, maybe that's a problem.
Is it a problem?
I just think the balance between them. Yeah. Because, like, sometimes you really do just have to leave somebody where the fuck they are and be like, yeah, there's no point in me engaging further, because there's going to be no understanding here. Like, we're not going to get anywhere through any conversation. And it's probably not even going to be a conversation. You're going to piss me off. I'm going to be enraged. And then I'm going to be mad later. Like, why did I even lower my standards and my vibrations to even engage with this person? So it just becomes a whole mess. And I'm a firm believer that, like, if someone is doing something wrong or doing something you feel is disrespectful and you start engaging with them, you're just as wrong as them. Like, you lose all credibility once you start bickering.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely, you have nothing left to say.
Yeah, that's a big part. That's the other part of that throat chakra is, like, having it. We're talking about chakras, and I feel like we haven't covered that this season. So, like, your chakras are your energy panels. So, you have your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root chakra. So they're all houses of energy and they control different things. So your throat kind of controls your communication, your understanding, your ability to express yourself, your ability to speak up for yourself, and all of that. So by having it, and the chakras can be open, closed, overactive, or underactive. So the goal is for them to be balanced, not overactive, not underactive, not closed, and not open, but you just want them to be, you want them to be open, but you want the energy flowing equally through there. So like when she says my throat, she thinks her throat chakra is whatever, it just means that the energy in that isn't balanced to her comfort level. And everybody has different comfort levels with certain things. Really. Yeah, with everything. So like depending on your energy, your life path, and all of that, depending on where your energy is, it'll affect you differently. Like, and then your nature is nature and nurture too, really. Because like for me, I've always had root chakra issues. So if something's off with my root chakra, literally my life is falling apart. Like if something's wrong with my money, my home, my stability, any of that, it will like literally, it's like pulling a rug from under me, and I don't do well with that because it just reminds me of trauma. So that's just a little tidbit on chakras, but
I wanted to see if I joined late, but I wanted to jump in just in case anyone says anything.
Does anyone have an example of how they like to raise their vibration?
Yeah, sage. I like to sage too. Yeah, I'm a sager.
I love saging.
Or just like another thing that was big for me on my like journey to just really like spiritual wellness in general and like mental clarity is like solitude. And I feel like people get solitude and being lonely, like so confused. And it's like, I can't be alone. Like, I think I've had some of my best moments by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like the most reflective like experiences, the most fun, the most like creative is always when I'm just like by myself. Like no one's there to throw their opinion, to throw their judgment. It's just like me and my thoughts and figuring things out.
When you said how you used to write down your affirmations and stick them on the wall, I literally had a sticky note above my my headboard in my old apartment that said solitude on it.
Yeah,
that was something that I was very big on in 2019. I was like, you know what, I just need to separate myself from all my family, my friends, because they're distracting me, on what it is that I'm trying to do. So 2019, I was all about solitude.
Yes.
Yeah, all about it.
And do you feel like that was a life-changing experience? Yes.
Absolutely,
I don't think
yes.
I've ever had, like, I'm the type of person where I love people, and like people don't, like I know that I can have an equally good time whether I'm with or without. So it doesn't bother me either way. But I am just the type of person, I don't not do anything because nobody wants to do it. Like I'm gonna do whatever I want to do,
with you or without you,
by myself. Like I may mention it like 1.5 times, and if you don't move when I move, I go for it. Yeah, and I love that. I've always wanted to like travel and like do stuff by myself. Like going like adventures and stuff like that. And I do to a certain degree, but I don't know. It's just nothing about solitude that's ever really been like appealing to me. In the sense that I think I would get anything out of it, great. You like go try it.
No,
but I do love when like no one's home and it's quiet and
that's your solitude. Like you don't have to be alone for months at a time, like secluded in a dark space, like under a rock. Like
I do imagine I imagine that dramatic. And I'm in the hole.
No, like it's not like you have to be shut off from the world, because at the end of the day, we still have things that we have to attend to. I'm sure 80%, maybe 90% of people don't have the luxury of just literally secluding themselves from the world. Yeah. All right. But it's just like in moments of like, let's say you are someone who goes out all the time, which there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, boo, go ahead. But and then you realize like, okay, I need to take time. We did get a question, but and then you're like, well, I need to take time to myself. So it could just be like, instead of going out 7 days a week, I'm gonna take 2 days to myself and go out 5 days a week. That's still solitude. You know what I'm saying? You just
okay, but then I have solitude. I do solitude. I'm thinking some dramatic shit.
My father, his favorite form of solitude when I was a kid was our car rides. No music, no nothing, because he was like, that's the time when I reflect. Is when we in the car and it's just silent.
That's how I pass.
So I love
silent car rides.
And that's how I get tickets too.
Cause you just be in your head
singing. Y'all know I be singing my little non-singing heart out, and before I know it, 3 state troopers been following me.
Can't hear them behind you.
You're thinking it's the sirens in the song.
Like, ooh, that's a nice beat.
So the question in the chat was, how does using sage raise your vibration? Alicia's asking all the way from where she in where's she at?
Puerto Rico, right?
Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Alicia.
So how does using sage, Miss Sage Queen?
I'll tell you when you come back. So for me, I connect with sage on a level to where the moment I smell it, it literally puts my mind at ease. Like when I'm feeling really anxious, I'm like, where's the white sage? And it has to, and when I'm in that sense, I need white sage.
Okay, but wait, let's take it back a little bit to where you even started using sage, because like you're saying like what it does for you, but like what made you get into sage? What did you know about sage that made you be like, okay, I'm gonna start burning it?
Because I'm gonna reveal a secret about myself after this, so go ahead.
Okay, I'm about to drop a secret too. So
dun, dun, dun.
Before I knew what sage was, I used to burn newspaper for the smell of the fire. So watching fire would calm me.
Oh, she might really be a pyro.
So I would like tear little pieces of magazine because it burns slow and it smells icky, and I would burn it. And when it was gone, I would tell myself no matter how mad I was, when it was done burning, I would be done feeling. And then I when I got into like rituals, so y'all know when I got pregnant, it was like I was forced to heal so that I wouldn't transfer so much to my son. Oh my God,
that's exactly,
And I was at the library on Google like, how to get bad energies off of you, how to get hexes off of you, how to
break generational curses.
Yes. And I was like, naturally with no meds.
In capital letters.
And so in that, it was like, take baths, take walks, meditate, burn sage. And I was like, burn? You had me at burn, baby. I'll burn whatever you want besides weed. So I was like, I ended up going into a store and getting sage. Cannabis.
Right.
Cannabis. And when I burnt it the first time, I immediately felt the shift of energy in my home.
Because it cleanses the air. It literally purifies the air.
And I felt like it was like this. My house had been renovated and sat empty for like a year, and it had that scent. And the moment I burnt that sage in my house, and when I set the sage on fire, it literally like it was like some crazy stuff.
Make sure you open some windows, open some doors.
Yeah, because the lady at the store told me like, oh, you may have to do this and that to get it to burn. Da, 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 da. And I lit it, and it literally was like on fire. And I was like, we're cleaning up out of this space. Yeah. And when I read about it, it was like, yeah, that's a sign that there was a lot of energies in there. And that was started like my obsession with the sage. And then I noticed, I felt the energy shift in my home. And then the next time I did it, it was like less, but I always felt good. And then now that I'm really into my rituals and I'm really into, intuitively just understanding my energy and things like that, I know when I feel anxious and I need a calming ritual.
God says, sounds like me. LOL, I used to burn tissue and Q-tips. Q-tips, you gotta get on here with us and tell us about that.
That's so small. How do you?
I would be scared.
You have to limit yourself because you gotta think.
It's like burning matches. I'm afraid to light a match.
I have been doing this since I was a kid, so I used to sneak and do it. Like my grandma used to be cooking greens on the pressure cooker, and I would go get paper and like stick it under the pot and blow it out. And so
for the smell of it, or what was it that, or just watching the fire?
To watch the fire.
Don't make her mad, y'all.
Don't. No. But no, so I have been doing that, sneaking and doing that
since drills.
The longest I can remember doing it. I think I did it at like 4 or 5. One time I got caught, I threw the paper in the garbage can and set the garbage can on fire, and I got a real bad whooping, but it didn't stop me. I knew
Stop me.
I knew it was something about that fire, and so that's how I learned. Don't ever get the big piece of paper. Get little pieces because it'll just burn out. Anywho, moving on. You're like, you crazy.
No,
I have no fear of being judged.
No, I don't think you're crazy. Everyone is just unique.
That. So that's how I knew. That's how I found sage through Google, and I immediately, like, once you feel that first, it's like when you do something to feel good, like, you just like, I can't stop, you know what I mean? So I sage now about 2 times a week on a good week, but if it's a crazy week or like, oh my god, retrograde.
How do you feel about so I'm not big on having guests in my home. Like, I feel like my home is like my personal space, but if I ever do have a guest over, I will sage either right before they come or after, or if I'm like, I wouldn't say I ever have sketchy people in my house, so it's like, not that they're sketchy, but if I just feel like we had a conversation and their energy feels heavy, yeah, you getting saged as soon as you walk through the threshold. Like, how do you feel about saging when you have company?
I'm a believer in that. I like to keep the peace and, keep my energy as much in anything that I can. But a funny fact about my last home is that in the almost 2 years I was there, I never had outside people in my home, only my best friends so what I did was, when I got that house and I set it up really nice, and I would put flowers in the window and I would put crystals in the doorway, and I did all of that, and I said, keep anything and anyone who is not for me or for my good out of my home. And so when you just said that, I realized I never had outside company. Mm-hmm. No one came over. A few cousins that are close may have stopped by once or twice, but as far as just having parties, kick it, I never had no one in my house that I don't break bread tough with. And so now to give you some comparison, 8 to 10 years ago, when I lived in my flat in Cleveland Heights, I had the party house. Every New Year's, it was my house. Every Monday, it was my house. I had the turn up house. I had all the liquor. I would cook all the food. I would cook food, pans of food, and not even get none. That's how lit the party it used to be going. Game night. So I
love a good game night.
So I had that house, and it was we used to call it crew nights. And so it was a group of guys that we hung with, and it was a group of girls. We were all friends, and that would be it. And I think back to the toxicity that was my life back then.
For all those energies being in your
so
space.
Much going on. They're all good people. We're most of us are all still real cool. But just me not knowing how exchange was, and just me looking back as to areas in my life where I was stagnant and self-sabotaging. A lot of it was because of the habits and the friends and the things that I made normalcies. And so when I got my house when I was pregnant, I was like, this is what we not doing. And then
you're protecting your energy.
Yeah. And actually, when you're pregnant, people don't want to hang around you like that anyway. So it was cool. It worked out. And then when I moved into a better home with a better flow and a better feng shui, and I was like, okay, now this is something I can really build upon. I set it up and I protected it, blessed it from the jump, and it was just smooth the whole time.
Now, what was the secret that you had?
So, a few people have looked at me a little crazy when I say this, but I don't really use sage as a relaxation method. I use it as just a cleansing method because it don't do it for me. I like to burn incense because I like this smell, different smells. They activate something, within me, and I'm like, that's what I like to burn. That's I have them in my car. I just ride when I'm in, watch them burn
in the car.
Yeah, I love
incense. Mm-hmm. You know what? I think incense are one of those childhood things for me, because in my home we used to burn incense as air freshener, and so sometimes that nostalgia of the poorness that used to be my life, smelling the incense just set, especially the ones with the little Cherokee on there. Baby, I can't do it. And it's
because it's just you have a different connection
to the incense. So I'm like that with a lot of things from my childhood. Not that they're bad or anything, it's just that once I
Where
feel
do you
like
get your sage from? Is what someone asked. Woo, incense and
I sell
candles.
sage.
Tons of smell goods for me too. So the first question was, where do you get your sage from?
So I actually have my sage. I have a what do you call them? A vendor for my sage out of California. So it is like fairly harvested sage. So it's not like no shady business, and it's ethically harvested. And it comes from California. But I actually sell sage in my shop.
Self plug.
Temple and Aura. Follow me on IG, and you can pick up locally if you're local.
Do you ship it?
I'll ship it too.
All right. So that was
Hit me up.
Angels Losing It that asked that question. And then London said, "Woo, incense and candles. LO, tons of smell goods for me too."
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you though. Like, I think I obviously see how sage can be for rituals and things, but I do more so use it for cleansing, because it's just like if the air in my house feels stagnant, or if it's like
thick and
just like, or like I said with people, like I just want to cleanse the space, because I want everything to just start off on a nice clean slate. Like I don't want to have any like lingering energies or anything like that. So
See, I don't
it's
just
more like
sage my house.
cleansing.
I sage like myself, my car. Like I sage my aura before I come here. And if I don't smoke it, I make sprays. Which
She doesn't mean
like,
smoke it. She means like
if I don't smudge it, then I make sprays and like aura cleansing sprays that have sage in it, made with moon water, and it's just really good for cleaning your aura and things like that. But yeah, I'll sage anything, anybody. Like I don't discriminate.
And when it comes to raising your vibration, outside of like sage, I feel like honestly it's just the connection that you give something, or the meaning that you give something, because at the end of the day, whatever you perceive something to be, that's just what it is. You are the only one within your reality. So if you want to say like, this wallet right here, this is it, like toss this into the air, flip it up 2 times, bam, my life is perfect again. Like, you know what I'm saying? If that's your thing,
your ritual, it's your
that's
intention.
your thing.
Like some of the people always say, like, what's the right way to do something? It's like, it's based on your intention.
It has to feel like,
like it's
good
what you
with
connect with. It's what you resonate with. My one friend, she loved water. She's like a flipper, like she's like a fish. Like she has to be in water to feel complete, to feel whole. And meanwhile, I'm like, I'm a sand baby. I need the sun. I need the rays. That gives me life. Give me the light. I don't need the water. But it's just what she resonates with. And so it's all about like what you find, where you find your peace.
So
dwell in it.
That reminds me of something that was in our chat earlier. You said you have to find something that you resonate with. How do you listen to your intuition? How do you know when to listen to your intuition?
So, okay, I'll just give you this example because I don't really know how to answer it, but this is the best example I can. I sell crystals. And sometimes people are like, well, what crystal would I want? And I tell people, come in.
Yep.
And whatever is you are attracted to is what you need.
Yep.
And so, and I believe that to be with people, to be with whatever you connect to, there's always a reason why you're connecting to it.
What was your question again?
Like, how do you know?
How do you know when
what
when
you
your
need?
intuition?
Like
is
when your
speaking to
intuition,
you?
when you need. So my thing is like, if I look at something and it's calling me, if I can't stop thinking about it, or if it draws me in, then I always stop. I've learned to intuitively know that it's something about that thing that I need to do.
And I feel like just like coming back to like obviously we are all like into our journey, you know what I'm saying? So if anyone's like maybe watching, you're just now starting your journey, or you're like, okay, I need to make some changes, this and that, we do have a couple questions if you want to. But I think like self-awareness, and like how we were saying, like it took us like that period of solitude and just like really getting to know yourself, because once you know yourself, you know what you like, what you don't like, what you can accept, what you can't accept. Then as things happen and you have to make decisions, you'll just know what's right for you and what feels good for you. Like if you're ever in a situation and it's just like something about it just makes you uncomfortable, that's your intuition. Like that's yourself telling you like, hey, this ain't it. So it's just really whatever feels good to you.
And I want to add on to that, when like that whole mind gut correlation. I had to think. So my last job that I had a couple years ago, I had to think about it because it was like every time I stepped into the building, I felt like something came over me, and my stomach would always, be so tight. I would, feel like I was always cramping.
Mm-hmm.
I would always feel dehydrated, and then as soon as I would step outside or step, somewhere where there was sunlight, I would feel alive again.
Yes.
But it was like every time I was around certain people, every time I was in a certain space, I just felt so
drained.
So yeah.
Heavy and
I couldn't take
not
it.
alive.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say dead, but
so yeah. No, I mean that's how I felt on the inside. I kind of did feel dead, but and then so I brought that up because I wanted to talk about children. When people always say, oh, don't listen to them, they don't know what they're talking about when they say my stomach hurt. When they're expressing that their stomach hurts, that's them expressing that, that disconnect. That's them expressing their intuition, but they just don't know it.
Yeah.
But something within them is not sitting right, but they say that their stomach hurts because they don't know what else to express, So yeah, I don't know why.
Listen to the babies. They know so much.
My friend actually posted a quote, and it said, you don't go through your whole life as yourself to just doubt yourself. So basically it's like, and trust everybody else. So why do you always second guess yourself? But if somebody gets on the news and says, hey, COVID numbers are spiking, or hey, white sage kills the giant, like why are you so eager to believe other people before you're eager to believe yourself? So like when you feel that turn in your stomach, that chill down your spine, that drop in your heart, when something pop in your head, when you that person laying in the meme, that didn't make sense. And you wake up like, why don't you want to trust that? Like that's your intuition. You have to explore that. And the more connected you become with yourself, the more you'll know what something is. If something pops up in my dreams, I know something up. If something pops up in my spirit or on my mind, I know something's up. Because like I said, I dwell in a certain energy. And so if anything, any outlier pops up, I'm like, okay, it's a matter of time before this is something.
What were the questions?
All right, so under the I am Tasia thing, I tagged my IG page and the location, the general location, but the address is in the bio. Okay, so how would you help one attune to their own energy to awaken it? I would do a chakra assessment. That'll tell you where your energy panels are, open, closed, overactive, underactive, and then you start exploring those things. I will also say journal. Write down those crazy thoughts. Write down those overwhelming thoughts. Write down those happy thoughts. Like, get to know yourself. Happy, mad, sad, glad, stressed, blessed, tested. Like, get to know all those parts of yourself, and don't just focus on the parts that feel good. Really pay attention to the parts that don't feel good, because that's where the most healing can happen. And you can do a little bit of healing, and that'll set you so far ahead in life by just healing from, a few traumatic events, or, a few things in your childhood, or just exploring those things. I did Reiki with a guy, and he said, I don't like dogs. And in the Reiki session, I got some energy, and I'm like, well, did something happen with you and an animal or a pet or something going on? He's like, I just got into it with my son. He wanted an animal, and I told him no. And then kind of found out he didn't like dogs because his mother lived in a low-income apartment when she was young. He went away for the summer and came back, and she had given the dog away. So in his mind, he thinks he's scared of dogs. He thinks he doesn't like dogs, when really he loves dogs. He just lost his dog as a child. And he literally told me later, I figured out why I don't like the dogs. I'm not afraid of them. This is what happened to me when I was a kid. And he's like a 60-year-old man. And so those little things, those fears, especially the unrealistic fears, like the monsters and the spiders and the closed doors and the stepping on, if it's anything like that, always explore them, because they started at some point probably in your childhood, and you gotta heal your inner child to really glow. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, so I will follow up on that and say, outside, because when I first started realizing I needed to do some self-work, it was just how I was projecting, and I was taking everything personal, and then or if you're around people, how you said you just feel like that environment or those people are just taking from you. Like, it's just like you go around them and it may be your everyday people, you know what I'm saying? But every time you're around them, it's just like, oh my God, now I'm in some drama, now I'm doing this, or like overextending yourself. I used to be that person who, like, I will cancel everything on my, or I would cancel everything on my schedule just to help somebody else out, you know what I'm saying? And I had to realize, like, yeah, that's, you know, honorable or whatever, but that shit ain't gonna work, you know what I'm saying? So I think, like, because I wasn't, when I first started, like, on my journey, I wasn't trying to outsource for a lot of stuff. Like, I eventually did, like, go to therapy and stuff, but I kind of wanted to, like, really know what I even needed help with to begin with. So, like, for me, it was just, like, starting to recognize, okay, when don't I feel my best and when do I feel my best? What's the difference between these two spaces? And then just cutting people out from there. Like, anyone who has known me for a while can say one thing about me, and it's like, I'm quick to, if you are not on the same page as me, if we're not vibing how we need to vibe, if something's just not working, gotta go. Literally, like, gotta go.
Yeah, that's definitely something, and knowing how to let go of
healthily,
people, because everything does not have to be dramatic. Everything does not have to be violent.
Yes,
because I was a violent.
I was super violent.
I was big on the violent departures in my heyday.
Oh my God, I'm just thinking back.
I just told my therapist about 2 weeks ago that I don't know how, because I haven't lost a lot of friends and I haven't been through a lot of things. I think, like, only, like, maybe 1.5 exes. One just don't talk to me, but everybody else still love me, and it's just one that I won't deal with because he ain't right. But cool person, but I just wouldn't even want to open that door of a friendship. But other than that, I don't be having bad breaks, you know? So I don't know how to fall out peacefully. I almost feel like I only fall out if it's something, like, really dramatic or really, like, big violation. So, like, men, they know they're done if they cheat. It is what it is. But as far as, like, females, I never really had to fall out with a close female to the point of, and still be cordial. You know what I mean? Like, if we didn't fall out, we didn't probably fought, threatened each other. If I see you, it's on sight. And that's what it is. But to just be like, Les, this ain't working. I don't know how to do that and not feel some type of way about it. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been very direct. So I've always felt like the right thing to do is to tell you, like, hey, but people don't take it right. So then that made me say, I'm not going to tell nobody nothing. I'm just going to change the way I move. But then that leaves that person still with energy towards me, and they don't know what it is because I didn't say what it was. And I was like, I don't know how to do that.
And that's what I'm trying to get myself to stop doing, because I feel like that's doing that person a disservice, because I'm not communicating with them what it is that they could do better, or what, you know, what they did to make me feel some type of way. I'm wrong for just up and leaving like that, you know? So,
well, I want you to protect your peace, but I know what you mean. It's a fine line, and it is, and I feel like the situation be the same. It's just that I'm noticing that I have that issue.
Accountability.
It's like, okay, what am I, you know, like, how can I make this situation more clear? How can I make this feel like a more peaceful, you know, transition? It's a lot, but it's just something that I'm working through, that I'm just learning.
Repeats itself once.
Yeah, that is so true. If a lesson will keep, you will keep getting the same test if you don't pass the lesson. So when your intuition is like, the universe telling you, leave this person alone. The universe telling you, don't deal with this person.
Yes.
And you just keep giving them more chances until now they're sinking your ship.
Yes.
And you got to know when to walk away and learn and trust that the universe is giving you a sign about this person.
Yes. And on that, like, specific note, when you let go of toxic people and toxic things, like, one of my most favorite quotes is, there's two of them. Well, one of them is, though, choose, like, foreign happiness over familiar pain, because regardless of the history that you have with someone or the connection that you have to a certain environment or a certain habit, if it is draining you or affecting you negatively, you just have to let it go. But in letting it go, like, give yourself, you know, the space to feel, to grieve that loss, which is not really a loss, like, you're moving on to better things. But the universe will open up to you in such, like, magnificent ways when you just stop putting yourself in situations that are low budget, low energy situations. Like, just trust that whatever you're going through, there's something like so much better out there for you. Like, you do not have to deal with anyone who is not treating you how you want to be treated. You do not have to put up with any of that. I don't care who it is, mom, brother, sister, granddaddy, best friend from kindergarten. Like, let it go and just do you. Like, find yourself, treat yourself well. Like, I'm so firm for letting that shit go. Like, let that shit go.
And I'm firm in leaving that shit where they had you fucked up.
Yeah, for real.
And I'm like, let's just preserve everything because I don't like losing things. So let's just be friends and don't argue and let's just love each other.
And when you started talking about how like you've never really had to go through like a crazy breakup because you usually like preserve your friendships. I feel like I'm kind of the exact opposite. So like, not that it's been like crazy breakups, but I haven't lost like in my adulthood, like as I am today, like me actually knowing self. I don't think I've ever lost a relationship, but it was like my relationship that I lost when I was younger that I think they like low key. Now that having this conversation, I was like, damn, I might need to do a little work in this area because knowing that I lost them like at the ages that I did or like in the experiences that I did, I just don't allow that close of a connection. Like I've allowed myself to become so detached from a lot of things, and it's not like I'm like I have no emotions or I show no empathy. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with you from over there. Like I'm not really trying to intermingle and have you know in my day-to-day because that shit didn't work out for me in the past.
Yeah, a form of guarding.
Yeah.
A form of, what's that, like self-preservation,
new moon energy.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely feeling this new moon energy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is it Janaya? She said, I feel like if you bring it to the person and they don't take it the right way, then it wasn't meant for them to be in your space. Yes, I agree with that. She said,
true. Yeah, but because I've had I think part of my issue too is that like not wanting to be who I used to be. And like if a person misunderstands me, especially if they pop off in their misunderstanding, it's like the pimp hand comes up and it's like, who you talking to? And I know that that's deep down in me. And so when I deal with people, I try to deal with them in a way where it doesn't get to that. So sometimes the only savior in a situation is the fact that I am big enough to peacefully, disagree or agree to disagree. Yeah. Because if I choose not to be peaceful, it will be chitty chitty bang bang all the freaking time. Because that's just how I'm gonna come. If you respond, if that's how you come, that's how I'm coming back. You know what I mean? Yeah. In the past, and so that's why now being the peaceful me, I don't know how to deal with opposition peacefully. It's like all I know is old Detroit
guns
shit.
And blazing. Yeah.
That's all I know. So it's like peace and good and a little bit of hood. It's like that little bit of hood still be like, good and a little bit of hood. If you react, it's like I know this is gonna go bad if they react. Because for one, a lot of people don't feel things like I feel things. A lot of people don't think about things. I'm very compassionate. I'm very connected. I'm very considerate. I'm all of that in like simple ass shit. You know what I mean? So if I do something, it means something. And if I said something, I meant it. And, so when you come at me and I could tell like you on a surface level, like I said, when I see people, I automatically know how to tear them apart. That's a defense from childhood. Yeah. Knowing the frenemy, the enemy, and everything in between. It's like, because you never know how people going to be. So you got to be ready to deal with them. However, in the way I grew up in defending myself and not ever being alone, but really like knowing if shit came down to it, I was really alone, you know? So yeah, that made me prepared to snap, crackle, pop on anything that moved, and that helped me to be able to detach and separate from people and all the time. Like if you didn't listen to season 1, my parents didn't raise me. So I always tell people, I grew up without a mother or father. It's fuck you. It can always be fuck you. The people who brought me in are not around. So guess what? Guess where you can go? Right. To hell. You know what I'm saying? And I always had that in me. Yeah. And but I never treated people like shit. Because if you were around me, I appreciated you being around me. You know what I mean?
But
so
once you make that switch,
yeah, then you gotta go, because I'm not gonna keep making it easy for people to leave me. You know what I mean? So now where I'm at now in life of just dealing with people, like I said, I had to heal from that damaged child syndrome and keeping people around because they were there, because they were space. So it's like, I'd rather have somebody than nobody.
Yeah.
I'd rather have some friend than any friend. You know what I'm saying? Than no friends. So just healing from that and being able to say, I love myself enough to create boundaries that will allow me to accept and appreciate and engage with people, but not hinder me and cause me to suffer because I want something so desperately. So like I've always been genuine, but I've never been desperate.
Hair flip.
Period. So we kind of like went through like our own personal experiences as far as like recognizing when we need to raise our vibrations, different methods to raise our vibrations, responding to responding to different like, or I guess negative situations. I don't know. I guess negative and positive are fair words, because I really try to shy away from using like good versus bad. There's this quote I read, and this was probably the only thing that I remember from like English in high school, and it was like a William Shakespeare quote, and it was like, everything is neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. And once I heard that, that was like the game changer for me. Like that was like, hold up. So you mean to tell me that if I don't put any energy into that, it's just gonna dissipate? Like it just means nothing anymore?
Yeah.
What? I got so that much power?
I have this this training thing, and it says you whether you can or whether you can't, whether you think you can or you think you can't, it either is so.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you think you can do it, you can do it. If you think you can't do it, then you ain't gonna do it. And so it's, so I like to use that for fitness. So they're like, I can't do that. Like, if you think you can't, you can't. But your mind gonna do whatever your body gonna do whatever your mind tells it to do.
Yep. That kind of plays into manifesting. So like manifesting is big for me. Like manifesting and mindfulness. Those are like my two things. And y'all are funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was like, wait. Okay. But like manifesting. So we kind of talked about how like you initiate the process, how you start doing the work, and just what really works for us, and just giving those think pieces. But now let's kind of like wrap up with all the positives. You know, like what the fruitfulness that comes from the work.
Oh my goodness. Black girl joy. Okay, so the lovely part about going through all this ugly things, being on the brink of tears and realizing what chakras
not even the brink, having them shits flowing.
Yeah, like the good thing about that is that it elevates you. All of those things, no matter how shitty they felt when you were going through them, no matter how hard it was to write those dark thoughts or have those tough conversations, once you do it, it puts you in an emotional, mental, and spiritual balance that helps you to create your reality. So once you have the right mindset, once you have the right inner energy, like once your heart's in seeing yourself succeed
and your intentions are clear
and you know exactly like what you want, then you can speak light and life into yourself. You can say, it doesn't matter what I've been through. It doesn't matter what happened to me. It doesn't matter what I've done to other people. I forgive myself. I forgive them. I am leveling up, and I am worthy, and I am deserving, and I am going to have this is that. In fact, I already have this is that. And that's the brink of manifestation. But sometimes when you're in that dark and murky gray area,
you don't see the other side.
You can't even see it because you're so distracted, because you're so full of bad energy. And bad energy can be in the form of exchanges with other people, who you're having sex with, what you're eating, your job, your living arrangement, any of that. And like all of those things are directly tied to a chakra. Right? So once you get your chakras in balance and work on the areas in your life that are going to benefit the most from that intensive work, you will be in like I call it where the money reside. You're going to be
where the money reside.
because it's so fruitful there.
It's like just a peace of mind, just clarity, and then like being able to get up and go outside where everyone else is and still stay firm within yourself. And like this environment is not swaying me to be anything else. And yeah, you're doing that stuff over there, but it honestly has nothing to do with me. So I'm gonna stay in my little happy little bubble and keep on going about my day and doing what I have to do. Manifesting though, like on the fun side of it, like just some like little things that I tried out that actually like worked for me, because I was like, okay, let me test this out. So I had watched this docu-series on like the law of attraction, because I just started getting really heavy into just like I needed to just bring goodness into my life. And so I tried this thing with like checks. So it was like this little... No, I've done that too, but this was something different. So it was like, I switched for like 3 months, and it was actually right before COVID had hit. And, sorry, I don't know. Okay. And, so I literally switched, instead of getting like everything direct deposited, I switched everything to paper checks. So granted, I had to wait a couple extra days to get paid, but I was like, whatever, because I'm trying to do something here. So then I just started saving all my checks, and then randomly like checks that I had been waiting on for forever, like from marketing companies and stuff, they finally started coming in. I was like, oh shoot, like, and in that 3-month period, I made like more money than like receive more checks than I ever imagined that I was going to receive, just because like my intentions were set on like, okay, let's see how I can manipulate the energy of this check. You know what I'm saying? So like take that example and just do that with anything. It's really about the intentions you set and just being persistent through it, because everyone thinks that like, oh, you just say, universe, God, do this in my life, and then you just sit back
waiting on Godot.
Hello, did you hear me? Like, get up and make it happen. Like, the universe is on your side for sure, but you have to take initiative.
I'm a firm believer you got to get in the way of the blessing. I always say that. So, like, when I say I want something, like, I really want a lakefront house, y'all. I want to either live on a beach community street. I want to be able to look out of a window and see the water. And I don't know what keeps making me come back to that. I keep coming back to it. So I was like ride through Bracknell like every day.
Where is that at?
It's off the lake. It's off the lake, and it's to the right of 90, and it's in between Euclid and downtown.
Okay.
You know how when you getting off on 80 Road, and you either gotta go left or right.
Okay. You turn right, you run into the lake, and that's Bracknell. It's all mansions. Okay. Like, I think LeBron used to own a house over there.
Okay.
A lot of basketball players and rich people live over there. And it's a private township, and it's very lucrative, like $1 million, multi-million dollar.
So you go for the visual manifestation.
Yes. And I sit and I'm like, waterfront property, wraparound porches, swings, 5 stories, wraparound driveways. Like, that's my house. So I ride through and I keep putting it in my way to get it. And it's like kind of like my real life, real time vision board.
Yes.
And because I'm actually in the home buying process right now. As soon as I find one, I'll buy it. But I've learned that nothing has worked out because I didn't set a clear intention as to what I wanted. And God is like, I'm going to protect you, little thirsty dummy. I'm going to protect you and let all this stuff fall through and not work out, because I know what you really want. And when you realize what you really want, we're going to make it happen. So that's just a part of manifestations. I'm going to post in the story my vision board from 2019. And I want y'all to see everything that I have. And if you knew me in 2019, you know me now. You know, I've been in my storefront business for about almost a year now. But literally, everything that I put on that board, I have, with the exception of that house.
It's coming. It's already here. It's already here.
So, like, the money, the connections, the women, the leadership, the crystals. Like, I literally had crystals on my board. And one day I was in my shop doing inventory, and I was like, oh my God, this looks just like the crystal from the board. And I didn't even realize it, but just waking up and seeing it, it was in my subconscious. It was always on my mind to have it, because I woke up and subconsciously looked at it every day. So when I'm ordering, of course, what's been on my spirit for the last year is going to pop out to me. So that's just how, like, manifestation, that's the fun part of it, is really being very, very clear. And with it being the new moon, with the new moon, you always want to start the new habits, what are you gonna
I
do?
think the live might have went.
Like, what do you want? Is it?
It's frozen.
Oh, because it's a year. I mean, it's an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Does it go off after an hour?
I don't think so.
People be on live for the
Forever?
longest.
I thought it was like an hour and then you have to come back.
But Angel said, is the Justin House alive? Okay. Angel said, do you ladies make vision boards?
Yeah.
Yes, so I was actually going to say my favorite example of manifestation is my grandmother. It's the first vision board that I've ever seen where everything was checked off. Her new car, her catering business, her husband, her wedding by the lake, everything was checked off. And I was like, okay, grandma. So she was my
Example.
Yeah, she was my example. And I'm
that
like,
is
oh,
awesome.
yeah. So I'm big on vision boards. Absolutely.
I think I heard about vision boards through Oprah. Oprah said, whatever you want, write it down, put it on a board, and put it where you see it every day.
Every day.
And she said, look at it every day, read the list every day. She says, a goal, an idea without a plan is a goal without a plan is just an idea.
Yeah.
And the ideas never happen.
And that's because when you write it down, it becomes physical. You can actually see it. You're not just thinking about it. You can see it. One of my favorite things to do, I don't really call it a ritual, but it's something I like to do when I roll up my cannabis. I usually do it on like a piece of paper that's kind of precious to me. So every time I'm rolling up, I'm looking at it. You know, when I'm smoking,
I'm about to throw y'all for a fucking loop really quick.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
So that's just something that I like to do when I'm manifesting. Is I like to just make sure, like she said, put it somewhere where you're gonna look at it every day.
Okay, so on the topic of manifestation, and I know it's not May yet, so it's not masturbation month, but manifestation through masturbation.
Y'all make sure y'all tune in.
Manifestation through masturbation. I'm telling y'all that does wonders, and you don't even have to be trying to manifest something physical, but it's just like setting your intentions before like your orgasmic experience, and then going into that like release of energy, like sending those intentions through that release of energy. Like when people, like the conversation I've had where people are like, oh, so like what do you watch or what do you do when you masturbate? And I literally tell them, like, I close my eyes and I think about how amazing I want my life to be. And that is enough to do the damn job. Like, you understand me? And then you get up and you just feel it's like, okay, I'm about to take on the world.
Yeah. To add to that, just to give you like the hippie spiritual version of what she just said, your womb is the creative space. And I'm a firm believer now, after research and reading it and seeing it,
energy,
that women can manifest anything they want through I always say it wrong, through your bourgeois or your allure to men, to your allure to your similarities. Like we are flowers. We are fruits. We are sweet things. We are attractive things. You know, flies want us. Bees want us.
Shiny.
You know what I mean? Like, that's who we are. So we already pull all of that in. And then we have this womb that we pass life through. So you can literally bring anything into this world through this tunnel here. And that's why I'm very protective about who I share that with.
Yes.
And I'm very protective about when I share and when I don't share myself, because I understand how much is in me to create. And when I'm like really working on something or business things, like literally I cannot connect like that with another person. I have to let that flow through me,
yourself,
through myself. And then once I'm in a good space, then I feel completely open to all that exchange. But when I'm like manifesting insight and it's something that literally started happening to me, and I was like, I thought something was wrong. I was like, I've never been a extremely horny person or like anything like that. And it was like, because I've always been brewing stuff in myself, and I can't think past that root chakra of what I need. So literally, like, my root be so strong that I cannot sacral until I'm grounded, and that's through my manifestation. So when I say I want something for myself, when I say I need something for myself, I can't do nothing until that's taken care of. So I have to constantly be manifested to be able to do what I want to do as a woman.
Through masturbation?
Which is what I do.
Or just manifestation in general?
Manifestation in
so
general.
I was like wondering where we made this up. Okay, so
through just manifestation in general. But I had to learn that about myself, because I was a late masturbator, but that's for next month.
Yeah.
May is masturbation month.
Yeah, that's for
wait.
next month.
But
I'll
I
share it
want
later.
to like just jump in there. It's the last thing I'm gonna say real quick. But yeah, sex manifestation, masturbation manifestation is all real, and that's because our womb is it's actually our first chakra, our first, energy center. So that's why it's, very important to just make sure you, like you said, hold on to that energy until it's ready to be released. Make sure you are careful with who you sharing that with, and because you don't want to give away all that power, all the good idea, the good energy, just don't want to give it away. So yeah.
I know that good girl Les has to make her shmoneys.
Oh, that's what you said. I thought somebody was saying.
No, I was saying.
I didn't know what I gotta do.
Tell the people bye.
Yeah, I gotta go to work, y'all. So I'll see y'all later.
See you, girl. If anyone wants to share how they manifest or manifestation topics, manifestation practices, techniques,
routine,
thank you. Techniques that work for them, feel free to hop in here real quick.
Another thing I wanted to touch on was just like having an attitude of gratitude, and how that alone will like open up so many spaces for you. It's because it was like frozen, so we had to go back out and come back in. Gotcha. But the attitude of gratitude, I live by that simply because when you have to understand that, like, how many people you encounter on a daily basis, and you may even be one of them that are not healed or not even on the journey of healing. So when you come into a situation, just as you said earlier, you want to lift the vibrations. When you practice an attitude of gratitude and just find things to be grateful for, literally, I started with a gratitude journal because I was like, in this heck of a life, what the hell is there to be? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this is fucked up, that is fucked up, and you want me to be grateful? Like, no. Yeah. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to just add one more thing. Another habit that I had started in 2019 was every week I would write something beautiful that happened throughout that week.
Yes.
And at the end of the year, I would read one, each one of those.
A gratitude jar.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. The happy jar, the gratitude jar. There you go. Yep.
Yeah. So those are techniques, and then like so. Writing is very powerful for anything, really. But so I started with like, okay, find one thing to be grateful for a day, and I would like prime my day off of what I could be grateful for. So like I would wake up and be like, okay, I didn't sleep well, but what am I grateful for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's one thing that I can say I'm grateful for today? Okay, that's what I'm writing with for this day. And then it became like 3 things and 4 things. And now I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for my socks, for my jacket, like for the breath that's in my body, just to be here in this space, the exchanges of energy, the connections. Like, I'm just so grateful for anything. And when you can come to that space where you just really see how beautiful life is and what is really out there for us, you just start attracting just all these amazing, beautiful things. So like doing the self-work to first of all recognize what is and what isn't for you. What do you need to work on? Because accountability is a hell of a thing. Yes. Key. You have to be self-accountable and be able to recognize like what is working and what isn't, and then taking the initiative to change it. So you get through that, then you start like noticing all these different things are changing in a great way, and then maintaining it is through like the manifestation and just like trying to be positive, just maintaining positive. Like life gets hectic for all of us, of course, but just find something to be grateful for.
Yeah, and always pause and reset. Like she said, like sometimes it's just like a domino effect.
Yeah.
It's like this happened, that happened, and it's just like, and you have to understand that you have the power to stop those dominoes and say, okay, dominoes, you're going to do what I want you to do now. This is how I'm moving the energy. This stops now. This stops today. And always, like, for one, you can't be too proud, and you cannot be too perfect. Like, as far as I've come, I have so much further that I want to go. I have so many levels that I want to go. I'm doing like, yoga course right now, and just learning the different I always say I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry. Learning the different
positions, basically.
No, not positions. So there's like laws to yoga, and there's like 8 limbs, and it's so much, and it's like I'm thinking I'm like here, and then I'm reading, I'm like, ooh, I'm not there. I don't got that. I want that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when I look at myself, even if it's something that I want to work on, I may not be where
Janaya said she just started practicing scripting. Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah. So, but looking and always seeing yourself as a glass is half full. So even if you know you got
My
a
shit
long
is
way to go,
overflowing.
I mean that too. But at least see yourself as half full. Never see yourself as half empty.
Oh, it's paused.
Yeah, it's acting crazy.
Is it paused on your end? Oh, okay.
Cool. So anyone else have anything? I just start practicing scripting. Yes. I also sell gratitude journals in the shop too.
Self plug.
So. I just thought about it when you said it. I bought a whole bunch for all different sorts of things, like.
But y'all can get y'all just some paper and a pen. You know what I mean?
But if you want something that's guided, like if you struggle with the concept, of writing and creating positive thoughts.
Oh, it's like templated?
Yeah,
yeah, that's official.
Yeah,
okay.
It's they're
literally some people
guided.
be like gratitude journal. Not saying you, but you know how like you'll be online and be like gratitude journal, and then you'll open it
and it's like a composition book. No, there's something to do every day. There's the lists and it guides you. So I have those too.
Really, the practice of writing period is just like
just get you anything, even if it's like a little tiny notepad
visualization
that you keep under the seat in your car, and when you pull up to your house, you just debrief your day.
Okay, so you said like a notepad or something you keep in your car. So something I do want to touch on before we like wrap up and everything, just doubling back to manifestation in general, you can manifest more than materials. You know what I'm saying? Like you can manifest quality friendships. You know, you can manifest a great career. You can manifest opportunity.
Did you see the post from Alicia?
No.
And was it 2019? Alicia posted on her Twitter or on her Facebook, I really want to get a network of women to sit down and exchange with and talk with. I want to talk to women and heal and yada yada. Like it was like literally she manifested for herself the Venus Exchange like 2 years ago, and she shared it like, oh my goodness, and I was just like, that is crazy.
Yes.
Because when we all met up, we all kind of said the same thing. I have been wanting to meet other people who were open.
And I told y'all when I came in, like I was like, finally, like a group of women I can sit down and have intellectual conversations. We can go down
all those rabbit holes with about all the taboo topics and things like that. So yeah, like that was something that each of us on our individual journeys manifested, and then literally like none of us knew each other before the podcast, like closely, like we might have knew a name, or this person knew that person, and like literally when it was brought to us, it was like, hey, y'all want to do something, I think y'all would be good for it, and we were all like, yeah, and then we got there like, who are you?
Who are you? Welcome.
So, and that just shows you how manifestation work. Like I knew nothing of any castmate 8 months ago, literally never had heard of nobody. So, and that just goes to show you, like, the universe will make a way for you.
You just have to allow it.
Allow it. Speak it, write it, and visualize it for yourself every day, and it will be yours.
And some activities that I'll share a few, and maybe you can share a few, just like activities to leave you guys with that may be helpful. So I know a few of you have like been liking the scripting and writing things down, or like visualizing things. So outside of a vision board, writing a letter in the I am, I have, like in the present tense about yourself. Like I have, and then whatever you want to have. I am, thriving in my career. I'm connected with quality, intellectual, like whatever kind of people you want around you. Write it down. And then just read it every day to yourself. So it's like, your present day is everything that you want in your life, and then constantly reminding yourself of that is just gonna get you there. And then secondly, my sister actually got me hip to this, so shout out to Body Varsity. That's her business page if y'all wanna go check it out. But writing down like the qualities of people that you want in your life, and carrying that around with you. So at first it starts off as like a reminder, because like we've all dealt with some toxic people, and we can't just blame them because we were probably just as toxic at the time. But writing down the qualities that you want in your friends, the qualities that you want in your partner, the qualities that you want to see in yourself, and then taking that everywhere with you, and just reading it from time to time, just so you have that, because it's really just about training yourself and training your energy to receive certain things. So, and like, to
attract it. Like, I'm a firm believer in that. You cannot attract anything above your frequency.
Nope.
So you got to constantly be willing to do the work to elevate, to elevate. And so but lower energies will always be attracted to you.
Yes,
because they're going to see you as this light.
It's like freaking moths on a light.
Yeah,
like you're this ginormous light lighting up the whole block, and everybody who is not that is attracted to you because they want a piece of it. They want to be it. You know what I'm saying? They want to feel that goodness and that warmth for themselves. Yeah, that's facts. That's definitely facts. That goes into like you have to be protective of that though, for sure.
Yeah, I think Alicia had asked like, how do we protect energy? And just some things I do to protect energy, like I wear crystals, I keep spray, I sage, and I call on my ancestors to handle people, places, and situations that I don't necessarily see coming. And then I also have a like a third eye tatted on my back, and I always say that that it's there to watch my back. And so just doing those types of things, and it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be like a literal everyday permanent tattoo.
Yeah.
But what I was going through back then, I was just like, I wanted to be protected so bad, and I was just in a creative space where I used my body a lot to create.
Hey, Laura's on. Hey, Laura.
I saw that too. But yeah, I actually put a tattoo of an eye on my back. Just
I have eyes everywhere. I have this eye. I have the eye right here. Is there an eye in my? There might be an eye in my cross. I don't know. It might just have a crown on it. But yeah, and then on my keychain, like in my house, eyes are big for me. But another quote, and this was, I'm a self plug because I'm a writer, right? Not I'm saying. So something that I wanted to touch on when you were saying like you cannot attract anything that's above you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have not worked on yourself enough, you're not gonna attract people who have done the work because they're not gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna look at you like, eh?
Yeah, like come back later when you do a little bit more. So something that I journal one time and then I took it from my journal and like I have it plastered in 2 places in my house is like your quality of life is determined by your quality of living. So if you're living low, like in a low vibrational space, and I'm not talking about like being poor and shit,
physical,
because we all been it. Yeah, not the physical, but like the mental, the spiritual. If you're constantly bickering, if you're constantly honestly,
if you're miserable,
just if you're miserable in your life, that's just what's gonna happen. You have to take control of that and decide like, I deserve a better life, because you absolutely do, and it's there for you, waiting on you. As we said before, you just have to give the universe the room to work, because I don't care what it is you've been through. I don't care. I don't, there's like really no excuse. You can still be better than what you were yesterday. Mm-hmm. That's always, the opportunity is always there, but you just have to know like, I am deserving of something greater and I can make it happen for myself. And just be consistent and just be dedicated to yourself and really get to know yourself. Like self-awareness, you have to be self-aware. Like there's no getting around it without being self-aware.
There is our homegirl, Healing with the Gym. If you go to Healing with the Gym, spelled exactly how it is, can you type it on there? I don't know. Do you know?
Is it the @ sign?
Yep. At Healing with the Gym. GEM. Yeah. So we're gonna tag her in here. If you go to her page, she's a lovely tarot oracle goddess.
I love tarot.
And tarot card and oracle reader. Venezuelan goddess. If you go to her page, in her bio, she has an assessment for your chakra evaluation, and almost everyone on the podcast is attuned to perform Reiki. I know Laura is. I am. I think Alicia's getting attuned.
I never
healing. No, you didn't.
I've looked into it, but I've never taken the. Yeah,
we gonna get you together. But yeah, so we're Reiki practitioners. So but she has it in her thing. So that's why I wanted to direct you there. So go there, kicks and giggles. Go and see where you are chakra wise, and then hit her up. Hit Laura up at Soul Serenity Wellness. Mm-hmm. Hit me up. Hit Alicia up. And, get some Reiki, get that energy flowing. And that's not a plug because I'm blessed, but I just really want to help people heal.
Yes, no,
so go and do that.
All about.
And when you get those answers, open, close, overactive, underactive, mentally sit there and get a piece of paper and write down what you think those blockages are. Why do you think that's overactive? What's good that's making your heart chakra open? And just explore yourself. Yes. And if you find some closed spaces or some issues that raise concern, marinate on it for yourself for a while, and then when you feel comfortable, reach out to someone when you're ready to do the work, because people have done a lot of work to be able to be in a position to help people heal. Yes. And it's like, you have to know that the people are out here in the universe that can aid you on your journey, and you have to be open to it.
Yeah, you absolutely have to be open.
A part of that accountability is taking advantage of the resources that are out there for you to assess yourself. So
yeah, it's definitely not something you have to do by yourself at all.
Yeah, you don't have to do it alone, especially if you feel like you need guidance or anything like that. Like, that's what people are here for. But go to her page and take that assessment, because I felt some weird stuff.
I'm gonna take it because I haven't taken it.
Yep, and I went and took it, and I was like, I knew it, and I posted it. I was like, I knew it. I felt this. I knew.
I'm excited. I'm gonna do it literally as soon as I get in the car, and I'm like, this is what he said. I'm gonna text it to the group.
So to wrap up, I just want to tell people, last week I had told you guys to send questions in the chat. I just realized that in the live, depending on where you are in the page, like, you can't go back and see the comments from live. So if you have questions or comments or concerns or anything,
Justin, is there questions on there?
No, not right now. I'm just saying, like, if you play it back and you hear it, DM us.
Yes, we're all so willing to talk about all of this.
Yes, so don't put it in the comments, because we won't see it when we go back to watch it. So DM us if you need any insight or anything like that, any elaboration. Like, feel free to DM us at the Venus Exchange, and who's ever most qualified to steer, to answer that question, we will definitely, resource ourselves and make sure you get that information.
So just like an overview of everything, and just some keywords for anyone who is anywhere you are, really. The universe meets you where you are. So raising your vibration, accountability, affirmations. What else are we talking about? Manifestation, counteracting like energy vampires or just like negative energies, and self-awareness. Like, if you just start with self-awareness, you will take yourself everywhere you need to go.
You're light years.
You know everything that you need to know on this journey. It's just like what's the word I'm looking for? Unlearning everything that society has placed on you, everything that your friends have placed on you, everything that your parents have led you to believe. Just unlearning that and really recognizing who is self and what am I here for and what is it that I need. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So just start with self-awareness, and you will know the answers from there, what you need. So we always end with a heart pill to swallow.
Oh, you.
Heart pill to swallow? Okay, I don't know. I really don't have one for this episode.
Heart pills to swallow. The work is never done.
Heart pill to swallow. The work is never done.
Heart pill to swallow. The work.
I feel like that's the exciting part.
But it's still a hard pill to swallow, because think of you at 12. Okay. No, we're gonna do by threes. Think of you at 11.
Okay.
Think of who you were at 11.
Okay.
Everything that was going on. Think of you at 22.
Ooh.
Now visualize yourself at 33.
Oh, I'm gonna be a bad mama jamma.
Do you see all that work, all that progression and step to step? So when you think of who you were 11 years prior,
who you are now,
and versus who you are now, and then who you want to be 11 years into the future, you can see the work you've done and then the work you want to do. And so that's my mindset when I say the work is never done. It's not like it's a bad thing.
No, it's not.
It's just something that you have to be open to. You have to stay open to the work, because it's always going to be there.
Yeah, if you think there's just going to be some magical finish line, call me when you get there, because I'm going to come. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come right along with you if you
find it. But yeah, so that's my heart pill to swallow.
That was a good one. I'm going to stick with that. My heart pill to swallow is man, that was a good one. I feel like that kind of like let's
share it with you.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Gratitude. So the heart pill to swallow for this is that the work is never done.
So start now.
Literally start now. Start yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And just take it day by day. Don't be too hard on yourself. But in close, I'm sending love and light everyone's way. I hope you all come to a point of clarity. And if you're already there, I hope you just maintain it and you find everything abundant in life, because life is honestly amazing, and whatever you desire to be and whatever you want out of this life, I promise you that you can have it. I promise you, it's waiting for you. You just gotta allow it to come.
Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in that. In life, all we really have is our energy. All we really
energy
have
is currency, baby.
All we ever have is our love. All we ever have is our compassion. All we ever have are those things that are innate in us, because all this other shit, the cars, the houses, the credit, all of that is superficial. It's so like, who would you be if all of that disappeared? You'd be your thoughts, you'd be your love, you'd be your ambition, you'd be all those things that just are in
that
you.
matter.
Yeah, so that's how I just look at everything. Like, all you have is your energy. So protect it, respect it, elevate it, and share it.
Share it.
Share your good energy.
Good energy.
Share your good energy. Work on your bad energy.
Peace and love, folks.
Till next time.